Welcome, boys and girls, to another episode of the good, the bad, and the downright stupid. Just dumb. Dumb as a bag of rocks. Now, what am I talking about? I'm just gonna instead of just going off the vernacular, I'm just gonna go ahead and just play a clip of soon-to-be senator in the state of Texas, Jasmine Crockett, and how she as it pertains to the ISIS situation and how it's being used and abused by your president of the United States, Donald Trump, who I had the obligation to look at do a research because somebody had to remind me of his MRI. Obviously, his signs are normal. So anybody thinking that he was going to croak anytime soon, think again. Think again. I mean, hell, even I'm not that lucky. But his vital signs are normal. His abdomen is normal. His heart's normal. So let's just stop thinking the worst because, as Christians, we're not supposed to be thinking the worst of even our enemies, right? Right. But anyway, on to these two dumb niggas. These two dumbass niggas, they used to do bodybuilding on I think it was either TikTok, it was Instagram. Yeah, they do a little bit of both. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and they probably on Rumble. Well, certain people shouldn't even be speaking, but I'm gonna try to be as poised as I possibly can. But I'm gonna play a little bit of Jasmine Crockett and what she was talking about as far as the reaction of a video that they did in terms of the broadcast that she was on, where she was talking about some other shit. Plus, she was hinting at becoming U.S. Senate, how it's close to a yes and it's close to a no, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to hold you.
But we begin with President Trump intensifying his immigration crackdown after an Afghan national was accused of shooting two knives. How much force is being used when people are being detained. But I can go right home. And I know the stories of my constituents. I know about a young lady who's only 21 years old and had consistently showed up to her appointments, and she was nabbed at one of those appointments. Her family said, make sure she's got her diabetic medication. They tried to give it to them. They would not take it. Ultimately, 5 days later, when they didn't give her her medication, they had to take her to a hospital. They then put her back into custody, and ultimately there were issues with literally I won't get so graphic, but involving urine and some other things.
Feel free to get graphic.
Well, I mean, there were allegations that because they were actually depriving them of water, that they literally were having to drink their own urine.
Now, listen to these people talk. And people don't think God, this is depressing. When you involve the fucking military, their only mission is to annihilate a threat. But due to the fact that he has basically violated the laws of this country, the 18th 1807 after the insurrection. He literally is enforcing New World Order, which we've all have said, those of us who have listened, those of us who have absolutely captured the conversation, not just listened, but heard the conversation at random, right? And it's taken into account that there would be a face of the United States of America that will literally turn this country upside down, including getting rid of immigrants, blacks, so on and so forth. And it's sad to say that these two are black and these two don't think that this doesn't, the law, that his law, Trump's law, doesn't involve you either. Hopefully in my lifetime, I don't see these two, and I'm going to show you these two in a minute. Hopefully in my lifetime, I don't see these two in the news getting pulled over by the cops or something. And let's see how they get treated. They'll probably be the law-abiding citizens that they proclaim that they are. But then you always get that Columbo cop. You always get that Columbo cop who thinks he's right, who thinks he is above the law. These two ingrates. Now I'm going to shut that off. Where did it go?
Congressman we have in office right now. Check out what she got to say. It's unreal.
Joining us now is the person you just heard, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She also serves on the House Oversight Committee. She's a busy lady. I want to hear about the stories that you heard when you were on the ground, Angeles, for this hearing that we just teased, about the stories that immigrants...
This is crazy. This used to be MSNBC, now it's MS Now. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is the direction of the Democratic Party. They got two gay men. Mm-hmm. It's really bizarre. They're like, when you think of Democratic Party, you don't really think of masculine men. Right. They're just telling their hosts to match their audience. You can't win. You can't have a successful party if your views and your policies do not resonate with masculine men. Yeah. And their whole approach is...
So Hakeem Jeffries is not masculine? Bernie Sanders is not masculine? Barack Obama is not masculine? Interesting.
It's just so self-defeating. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Imagine.
Not only are they like LGBTQ, but they're all like flamboyant. Yeah. LGBTQ. Yeah.
Some who are not U.S. citizens and some who actually might be U.S. citizens, and what they had to tell you guys.
Yeah, so first of all, we heard the story of a U.S. citizen who was on her way to work, and as she tried to tell them, listen, I'm a U.S. citizen, they would not listen, and she was taken into custody. We also heard...
you got to take whatever she says with a grain of salt, because she's pushing a narrative. I'm sure it happens at all. Yeah, I'm sure it happens from time to time. They make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. It's because of the person they're dealing with. If you show them your driver's license and your social security number, right, and say I'm an American citizen, yeah, there's no way in hell they're taking you into custody. Exactly. Yeah.
Should I pull up? Well, there are countless clips out there where ICE is dragging people out of their homes, causing a whole bunch of havoc, smashing truck windows. We saw those videos before. Being very aggressive, just basically pushing everybody around and asking Americans, full-blown grown born and bred Americans, are you a citizen? If not, go back to Chicago. Go back to that video in Chicago. That will never waver for me. How you would drag innocent civilians out of their home, including babies, butt naked. Like that's criminal to me.
Heard about just the conditions, the horrific conditions that human beings are being kept in, the unsanitary conditions. But here's the reality. We went to LA. I've been to Chicago to hear stories about, how much force is being used when people are being detained. But I can go right home. And I know the stories of my constituents. I know about a young lady who's only 21 years old and had consistently showed up to her appointments, and she was nabbed at one of those appointments. Her family said, make sure she's got her diabetic medication. They tried to give it to them. They would not take it. Ultimately, 5 days later, when they didn't give her medication, they had to take her to a hospital. They then put her back into custody, and ultimately there were issues with literally, like, I won't get so graphic, but involving urine and some other things.
Feel free to get graphic.
Well, I mean, there were allegations that because they were actually depriving them of water, that they literally were having to drink their own urine.
It doesn't sound credible at all. They're forced to drink their own waste to survive while they're in custody of ICE. Anybody with the brain know that sounds far-fetched and absurd.
Whatever happened to integrity? Whatever happened to humanity? I would not be surprised if these two were to allow people from the far right to just completely obliterate people of color. Because not only have these two have completely have given up on their Africanity. They believe they're just American, born and bred, and they got just as much as rights as to this country as white folks. But and sipping the Kool-Aid for years and years. Illegal or not, illegal or not, because of the 19th, or this is the 14th, no, the 14th Amendment. Once your foot touches the soil, you have rights in this country to get good health, get not the best health care, but good enough health care under the state law. But you're going to treat these people like cattle, put them in concentration camps along with and separate their kids as well. That sounds like that's somewhat familiar, like slavery. That's too familiar. Slavery. It's too much like slavery to me. But let me not hold you, because guess what? When they drag your bunk ass out their home, if they ever have a reason to come to your city, your state, wherever you live, wherever you lay your head, and you get not a knock at the door, not a knock, but you're being forced out of your home, I don't want to hear shit come out of anyone's mouth that is far right. How they were being treated unfairly. How these two ignorant son bitches, how they got dragged out of their homes. But I guess whenever there's an opportunity, like like that wavering of the dollar in your face. Oh, let's just say it was $100. Let's just say Donald Trump waved $100. Hey, let's just say he waved $100 in your face. You would be bold enough to take that. He said, "Come for in order for me to get that $100, I have to follow you." I'd rather follow, well, let me not say that. I'd rather follow Ross Perot into the pits of holla before I follow Donald Trump and his bullshit. These two are stupid, man.
And she's trying to say the use of force they're applying on these people when they're arresting them is excessive. Well, they can use force if you resist. But for some reason, on the left, they don't realize that cops can use force. I think the left doesn't understand that concept. They don't. You resist, they have the right to use force. Yeah.
This can't be America. But obviously, in Trump's America, this is exactly what he wants. And the idea that one person can get out of line and commit.
It's just saying that the Trump accused the police force of being soft. He did. He accused the police force when he first got inaugurated of being so soft that he had to include extra manpower. Extra manpower meaning the National Guard, which is illegal unless absolutely positively necessary. The National Guard is used for if outside forces were to come into the country and dominate in that way. But according to the Insurrection Act of 1807, the U.S. military is not to touch U.S. soil. He completely ignored that, along with the First Amendment, Second Amendment, 13th, 14th, 15th, 19th, 20th, and 22nd Amendment. Yeah, these two are stupid, of course.
Such a horrific crime as shooting two National Guardsmen that never ever asked to be here. In fact,
wow, she's blaming our president for that terrorist that shot two National Guardsmen. That's Trump's fault. They didn't ask to be there. They're soldiers. That's what they signed up for. And yeah, president is the commander-in-chief. They're soldiers.
First and foremost, dumb fucks. No, they did not. It is illegal for them to be there in the first place. Why am I yelling at those two? They have talking about low IQ.
Yeah. Crazy.
So the young lady that lost her life, specifically, we're saying that this is a waste of time, but now you want to go against every single immigrant.
She's like trying to use their deaths. I think he's still alive. Yeah, she's so evil that she's trying to use their deaths for political ploy. Ooh, look how bad Trump is. They should have never been there. Yeah. It's what these people signed up for. They're soldiers. Yeah. This is a disgusting one.
Do you know who Trump is? I don't think these two know who Trump is. These two might be, I'm a little bit old. I'm way older than they are. These two might be 35, 36 years of age. I'm way older than they are. They don't know Trump like us Gen Xers and what's before Gen X is the baby boomers. You would take how these people would take up for an actor. An actor is asinine to the fullest, like literally. I don't understand. I don't understand these conservatives, man. I really don't understand. But no, you know what? Not I do understand conservatives. Like I said, they're waving that dollar bill in your face, and none of them ask. None of them bother to ask, what do you want in return? Good luck with that.
Yeah, and I'm sure they never imagined something like this happening to them, but that's why there's crazy people in society. That's why I say she is the worst congressman we have in office right now.
No, they're younger than that.
She's talking about running for Senate. Please run for Senate. That means she can't run for the House. I think she's losing her seat. I think they redistrict her.
Dumb cucks. She has a choice if she wants to go back into the House and or run for U.S. Senate, because according to her exclamation, there are possibly two or three seats available. She can go back if she wanted to, but then again, why go back to Congress? Why go back to the House when you can just go for U.S. Senate, or why go for U.S. Senate when you can just take over the whole United States of America and run for president of the United States of America?
Yeah. So she's losing the seat, regardless. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. And it's frankly not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you, I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists.
How is that if they came here illegally? Yeah. How is that true when they came here illegally? They falsified documents to work here. Yeah. How can you say that honestly with a straight face?
How do you know they falsified documents? These are the two dumbest. You can't falsify documents because once they catch you, they got to prosecute you. They got to put you. What was that thing? I forgot what it's called because I'm so pissed off at these two motherfuckers. I don't even know why they are getting to me right now. It's called due process. Once you are there, you are in their custody and going through due process. When you enter into the country and you do things the legal way, guess what? You are allowed so many months to get a green card. And after you get a green card, you get what's called state-funded, like something like state government funds or something like that. I think that's Medicare. That's not Medicare. I'm thinking of something else. But it's under state law that you get something from state law, not federal, state, because you have to be here some amount of years, follow the rules like everybody else does.
You hear there's no pushback from them. No logic. They're just letting her run with all these lies. That is such malarkey. Yeah, what is he writing? Look at that. He's writing down something. Yeah. Wow, they keep pushing that talking point that they commit less crimes than American citizens. They commit less crimes than black people, I'm sure. Yeah, but for them to make that argument is just so disingenuous, because I mean, they're just bold. That's just a bold-faced lie. Yeah, that's not true. Yeah.
But we don't want to talk about that in this country.
I mean, the FBI has for years said that homegrown terrorism is
Correct.
a much bigger issue than anything from any other country. One of the things that we keep hearing the president say is that he's going to denaturalize people. There should be people denaturalized, people who don't adhere to Western civilization values, whatever that means. I'm curious what you think about that, because one is not something he can do, right? He can't go around waving a wand and denaturalize.
Well, to denaturalize somebody, they have to do something heinous. Yeah, and fraudulent when they came. Yeah.
Of course. But that's pretty much everybody. Pretty much everybody, they ride the coattails of racism. They ride the coattails of sexism and all this other nonsense. And they get a boost and they get the clicks and they get the views and they blah, 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 whatever. But not realizing that you're doing a disservice not only to your country, but you're doing a disservice to your own people, which I don't think they give a shit. Tommy Sotomayor was over here just not too long ago, and he's no different from them. So you're not going to get anything from them because they're just in it for a check that they're going to get. They're going to get garnished, what, 30%, 33%, some shit like that.
Yeah. When you take that oath, when you become an American citizen, you take that oath to, have allegiance for this country, for our country and our customs and cultures. Yeah, but that's nothing new. Yeah, but they can take your green card. They can take your visa. They can do all that, no problem. Because it's a privilege to be here. That doesn't give you a right to be here. Yeah, you can lose your citizenship if your citizenship was gained by fraud. Yeah. Fraud, yeah. Or if you do something heinous while you're a citizen. I think they can denaturalize you. Yeah.
As people, there's a process. They're not supposed to.
Okay.
there's a legal process to that.
Yeah.
But what do you think is actually behind that? Because he probably knows that he can't do it, but what do you think he's trying to signal?
I think he is trying to do what he's always done, which is instill fear. He wants people to go into the shadows. He wants people to hide out. The way that they're doing right now, people are not sending their kids to school. They're not showing up to work.
Well, they're not going to work and they're not taking their kids to school because they're in the country legally. So they have no choice. Yeah. Are you for the American citizen or for illegal immigrants? You're trying to blame Trump for enforcing that immigration law. How crazy and how far left the Democrats have went these last 10 years. It's like amazing.
Is wanting people to be terrified, and he only wants his kind of people on the.
I remember AOC. Kind of people. Yeah, I know white people. Right. I remember AOC when Trump was out of office the first time around. There's like, we need to go after everybody that supported him. Right. Right. Just for supporting him. Right. Him enforcing his laws, he's the evil one. Right. And they're making those threats now.
Obviously they know what happened in January 6th. I mean, do we have to go into that? January 6th, a lot of people got hurt, including 17 police officers? I mean, forcing your way into the Capitol, defecating on desks. I mean, just forcing yourself to do some heinous shit. And this was right before, this was right after he got impeached. Right after he got impeached. Because he felt that he was cheated. But listen to them ramble on how he won a majority of votes. He didn't win the majority of votes. He had endorsements. He got endorsements from his good old buddy, Elon Musk, which is a white immigrant from South Africa. Isn't Donald Trump married to a immigrant? Wasn't he? here, what is this family here illegally? I'm not sure. I gotta look that up.
When Trump is out of office, Democrats have been warning. Yeah. Trump's not going to be your president forever. Yeah.
The streets. He wants everyone else to kind of languish in the shadows. But we can start with the fact that he's married a couple of immigrants himself, and we can start there if we're about to start denaturalizing. I'm just saying.
I mean, what is he even talking about? I don't know. It's just
he's married. He was married 3 times. Most of them were illegal immigrants. You stupid fucks. All 3 of them were illegal immigrants because nobody here in the United States of America wanted Trump. He can't stay faithful. He can't stay faithful to what's his wife's name? He can't stay faithful to her. The fuck is y'all talking about? That's what he likes. That's what he likes to do. He likes to illegal immigrants. He likes to bring them over here on the visa, which his wife's visa is expired. Interesting.
a word sandwich. It's not a rational, illogical thought. Everything's a lie. Yeah, you never see on a right-leaning, even a moderate podcast. The podcast she attends, that she'll go on air for, is far left. Yeah. They're laughing at her. Because it's just ridiculous. Yeah. But they agree with her.
You mentioned children not going to school as a result of the fear that's being instilled by the president. That's something that we should...
they know they're in the country illegally. Yeah, the schools are meant for American citizens.
Be talking more about, and that's children who are being caught up in all of this. ProPublica had a story out on Monday. ICE sent 600 immigrant kids to detention in federal shelters this year. It's a new record. In the majority of the cases we examined, kids ended up in shelters in ways government officials say they never would have in the past, after routine immigration court hearings or appointments, or because they were at a home or a business when immigration authorities showed up to arrest someone else. Once children are in shelters, the government is making it harder and harder for relatives or other adults who act as sponsors to get them back. The average length of stay has grown to nearly 6 months, up from 1 month during the presidency of Joe Biden, public data shows.
Yeah, this is the pro-life party. I just want to be clear. This is the party that says that, they care so much about life until life actually shows up at their front door.
I like how Democrats conflate things. Yeah, pro-life means the unborn child in your stomach. Right. How you conflate that with adults who are in our country illegally, and they're being punished, and thus they put their kids in that position. They knew the risk. They knew what they were signing up for when they came into this country legally. They knew the ramifications if they get caught. They knew that.
That is what due process is for. Of course, when you have a baby here and you're here illegally, but let's just say, for example, the person that you were with happens to be legal, but you're illegal. You have a child together, it's going to be one or two things. You're going to have to be processed, and or they're going to have to give you some type of citizenship, whatever the case may be. I don't know how it works, but they can't just separate you from your child or your /children. They can't do that. That's un-American. That is un-American. How would you like it if the United States of America separated your children from your girlfriend or your wife? Wouldn't be very constitutional now, would it?
Being pro-life and pro-immigration, I mean, you went from pro-life to immigration. You like comparing apples to oranges. Yeah, false. Now, a rational person doesn't do that. Yeah, well, just how they think on the left. That's a false equivalence. Yeah, if you want to talk about pro-life, we can talk about pro-life. When we talk about immigration, talk about immigration. Yeah. But don't conflate things. It's just to prove your point. It's just, it's an idiot.
And this is also the party that supposedly is about Christianity. And I just imagine what they would have done to a little baby Jesus, but that's a whole other issue.
Hear them laughing? Yeah, that's crazy. Because we're Christians, we can't have immigration laws. There's all types of scripture in the Bible about, not breaking the law, about respecting your neighbors. Yeah, in their land and stuff like that. Yeah, Christianity does not say we have to let people walk all over us. Yeah.
Huh? Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. That's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy wife or thy husband, or however that goes. What laws are y'all talking about? This is quite depressing, but all for a check, I guess.
It is really so heartbreaking. We know that under the prior Trump administration, it was the children in cages. So for me,
it was Obama's cages. Yeah, who started that policy? And they said this is a record, kids. I don't really take that. I don't even believe it. I take it with a grain of salt because everybody knows President Obama he deported more.
Yeah, he deported more than he did everything by the book. Obama at least did everything by the book versus what Donald Trump is doing.
Kids and families than anybody. Yeah. Well, didn't they say this already a record and Trump's only been in office, 9-10 months? Yeah. I don't believe that.
For them to do better by children was not one of the things that was on my bingo card. I never expected them to do better. I expected them to do worse. And frankly, that is what they have done with this entire administration, is they have made everything worse. Like, it was bad the first time, so bad that he got kicked out of office. And then, unfortunately, America got amnesia, and somehow he ended up back in office.
He got kicked out of office. He didn't get kicked out of office. We knew what happened with that other election. He didn't get kicked out. And now she's claiming, the American public got amnesia, and that's why he's back in. Everybody knows exactly who Trump is. Yeah. Everybody knows why he didn't win that election in, 2020. Everybody knows why. It's because that damn superstar. He got what?
Yeah, everybody knows why he didn't win 2020. You know why he didn't win 2020? Because he was impeached. God. And then Donald Trump went to various small courts and lost. I need to get that information. I know who said I need to get that information from. I think it was Dean. It was either Dean or Reese. It was either one of those two. But he went to various courts and was complaining that I'll think of his name in a minute. Joe Biden stole the election from him, proclaiming that he stole the election from. But wait a minute, didn't Donald Trump steal the election from Hillary back in 2016? Didn't he steal the election from Hillary in 2016? Of course he did. Because he knew he wasn't going to win. You can Google that too. Correct.
81 million votes? Yeah, and everybody's just going to forget that he's such a horrible person. They put him right back in office, and he won in a landslide. Yeah, I wish I'd try to
He won in a landslide because he was donated a whole bunch of money. Plus, he rigged the election himself by putting fake votes. And whose desk was that? Motherfucker's a cheat. He's a cheat. He knows he can't win. He knows he can't win by himself. And he knows that look at his population or his popularity votes. Look at his popularity votes. He is sinking. He is the worst president in the United States of America. The worst president in the United States of America. But when it comes to truth and facts, people just ignore truth and facts. It's just all about the money. We all see it.
Like, convey a message that, okay, everything's worse. Based on what metric? Yeah. Joe Biden was in office, man. Inflation hit record highs this country's never seen before. And on top of that, I think it was between 18 and 21 million illegal immigrants came in through the southern border.
Where is your metrics for that? Where? I would like to see some metrics, some facts behind what you was just stating. And believe me, I'm not for Joe Biden either. But I do know what the president stated when he was inaugurated, what he had stated, what he was going to do. And did he do that? No. For example, I can go to Robinhood right now, and the only thing that is available is Google or Starbucks. The rest of the matrix has gone down. Everything stock-wise has gone down. Food prices have gone up. Gas has gone up. Rent has gone up. 7 million plus people. But I don't know about your city and state, but the city of Nevada has lost 7 million people have lost their jobs in the past couple of months. Getting jobs. You can't get jobs because they're frozen. No, but your mama is. Jesus Christ. No, but your mama is. We ain't got time for games, people. We do not have time for games. That those seats clear up just enough for the Democrat. And believe me, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but I would do literally anything to see this cat go. Because what he's doing is uncalled for. And I will harpen back to those people in Chicago, black folks in Chicago who got dragged out of their homes. And these two had the nerve to giggle and all this other type of shit. It's depressing.
I mean, you said things got worse his second term. Things was like, I would say he's doing very well.
See, you stuttering over your words already. Man, enough of these two geeks. This is you follow a persona and you think you're doing good. You think you're doing good under somebody, but you know you're not. I would expect them to have more subs. What is that supposed to fucking mean? They're doing what they're supposed to. They're sucking the cock. They're sucking the cock of the Republican administration. That's what they're doing. And so are you. I expect him to do that. I expect him, once you do that, you get more. But guess what? If Donald Trump were to be a Democrat again, because you do know he was once a Democrat, right? He's not a Democrat or a Republican. He is a capitalist. But once he did all that, what would make you think that he wouldn't do the exact same thing with Republicans like he's doing with Democrats? What makes you think he wouldn't portray the Republicans as he portrayed the Democrats and just did any old thing like he's doing right now? He's going where the money goes, you fucking cucks. He has y'all gonna learn. Y'all are gonna learn. Moving on to the next abomination. Oh boy. But you will probably love this one. And this is quite obvious because she is a waste of my time. She is a waste of everybody's time. But just in case you have forgotten who this lady is, I don't know what her purpose is. I really don't know what. It's easy to call her a racist because she is. It's easy to call her a clown because she is. It's easier to call her a cave bitch because she is. It's too easy. But I would like to know what your purpose is. And her purpose, Lady Gallus, her purpose is to have white folks who proclaim to have a muzzle on them to, as Skip Bayless would say, unleash their fury of having their First Amendment rights not taken away. In other words, she thinks that Black folks have something to do with white folks not expressing themselves. When the fuck did we ever not say that white folks couldn't express themselves? I said, say whatever you want. Say and express whatever you want, right? But this is the internet. Internet versus me being in your face and you telling it to my face how you really feel about me, that's totally different. See, white folks are safe around the internet. And of course, when people catch you and like this, that's a different story. You know, I don't condone violence, but hey, I mean, it's easy to say the N-word online. It's easy to say nigga online when you don't have people around you. But I don't think this person, I mean, she's safe where she's at. And quite frankly, good. I hope you don't knock into that nigger one of these days. I just hope you don't. But of course, she got demonetized or whatever. I'll have her tell you. Instead of me running my mouth, I'll have her tell you.
Today than I usually have. I'm also looking quite overweight in this sweater. I promise I have not gained weight. Well, maybe a little bit. It is the day after Thanksgiving. We got a little bit of an announcement for you guys today. So not our usual content, but the tragedy of today that we are going to be talking to is not about Black people attacking more whites on the trains. Shockingly enough, we are actually going to get to talk about something different. I know that that's a common thread that seems to be happening all the time. But today, you know what's happening? They're trying to keep a real down.
See? That train is never late, folks. That train is never late. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Boy, oh boy, that train is never late. I mean, this is the same woman that painted her face black in Halloween, portraying blackface or whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. Let her, just like Nick Fuentes, let them celebrate their moments online. I'm not going to tell you that it's not cool to approach these people and start asking the hard questions. I'm not going to tell you not to approach these people and, do your due diligence. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell black women, which she came after black women like on that same video when she was doing blackface. I'm not going to tell black women to beat the shit out of her. I'm not going to tell them that. Do your due diligence. My queens, my black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Listen. Do your best to approach. Listen, don't even approach her at all, right? Because she's not gonna say anything. Hell, she might be strapped. Who knows? It's not like we don't carry straps too. Just saying. Just saying. But approach, if you're going to approach her, if you have that mindset to approach her and give a piece of your mind to a woman like this, then do so with caution. Do so with caution and with care, because you never know who. I would prefer, ladies, I would prefer you have your crew around you just in case she wants to pop off, and clearly she has no fear of that. Okay, cool then. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you to be violent. I'm not going to tell you to listen. I'm just going to tell you to do this with caution. That's all I'm going to tell you.
That's what they're trying to do, because they cannot handle the truth. And this is just the facts. When you come speaking the truth about certain things, if you're raising racial awareness, let's say, if you are, heaven forbid, pro-white or a pro-white voice out there, which I am, which I always will be, and will always influence my content no matter what it is, they will try to keep you down. I've said in a couple other videos that there is a pipeline of cancellation. So what this is here's the top tier of cancellation. The top part of cancellation is they will try to smear your name. So they'll put out hit pieces and they'll try to cancel you. But we're living in like the post-cancel culture society where that doesn't really work anymore. In fact, it's actually lends a little credibility to your name, and you gain kind of a little loyal, staunch group of supporters rather, of people who don't care about the media slams. Okay, so they don't quit there. When they can't defame you or smear your name or ruin your reputation, then they will try to take you off the platforms. Hang on, the dog.
Your only reputation, you dumb bitch, would be to say the N-word as many times as you want, because you know that you feel that you live in a mostly white society, and you feel that you can get away with anything that you say or anything that you do. I'm here to tell you, you dumb white bitch, that's not the case. And even though they took your not subscriber, they basically demonetized you. That's what this whole shit is about. I'm not gonna front on you. They demonetized her. Okay, big deal. She's gonna go on TikTok or what? They demonetized her on TikTok. She's gonna go on X and she's gonna say her shit. Say the N-word as many times as she wants. Big freaking whoop. I mean, that's what white folks do. I mean, she's no different from Nick Fuentes. She is no different. She's no different from Nick Fuentes. She's no different from Richard Spencer. The list and Charlie Kirk. The list goes on and on and on and on. Okay? But again, let's continue.
Screaming to be let in. So I'm babysitting my mom's dog while she's away. She had to go down to stay with her sister. Like to be held. And cuddle with him. So to get back to the video, the cancellation cycle, they try to defame you. They try to take away your platform. When they can't take away your platform or get you banned, then they will take away your means of funding the project. They will demonetize you so that you cannot make the money that's necessary to continue putting out the content. If they can't stop, well, then they try to either jail you or ruin your life through lawfare, or like what's happening to Candace Owens, maybe even put out a hit on your life.
And that's another thing. Candace Owens should be ashamed of herself. Ashamed. That's where she got her license revoked. And I don't feel sorry for our sweet sister there. She's gonna have to learn a valuable lesson. Never go against Joan. Never spread lies. Never just the delusion of the grand. And on top of that, never go. You interviewed this woman and y'all were acting like two best buddies. Like, you were acting like real good buddies. Like you've been around the block before. It's the same thing with Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum proclaiming that Charlie Kirk was his best friend. Like, where do we get the? We want so very, not all of us, not me, but those who are conservative really are trying so hard to belong and trying to get along with people who do not have your best interests at heart. And when she says they, she's meaning those people who are in charge of Google. Google controlling YouTube, controlling a whole bunch of other shit, But to be perfectly honest, YouTube does this to everybody. But they're just tired of, they are quite frankly tired of your nonsense. They are tired of your racism. They are tired of your bigotry. They are just tired of you, period. I'm surprised they let you back on. I am totally shocked that they let you back on YouTube. Totally shocked.
Well, I am in the middle phase right now. I was just demonetized on YouTube. Okay, this happened this past week. I didn't announce it because I was trying to appeal the process and whatever, but that's what's going on, folks. I've been demonetized on YouTube. And I always wondered about creators who made a big deal about that until I realized, oh, that's like your sole form of income. Like, so now I'm just making videos for free, and I have the electricity bill for all the billions of lights that's in here. I have to pay for the equipment. Okay, now he looks like he's dying. I have to pay for the equipment. Okay, get down. Just stop whining at the door. Yeah, lay down right there. You got to pay for the equipment. You still have to pay for the people who make the thumbnails. You got a lot of bills to do, aside from the builds of natural life there. So yes, I have officially been demonetized on YouTube, which was my sole form of income. Aside from a few tiny little outlets here and there, YouTube was my main moneymaker. And I'm kind of stupid. I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't plan ahead. I live in the moment. I put it all out there. I'm an open book. I live with my heart on my sleeve. You know, if I say something, I mean it. I couldn't censor myself. I refused to censor myself. It's just impossible. I really tried. I really tried my best. Believe it or not, what you saw on YouTube was the vanilla me. It was like the vanilla of the vanilla. I tried my best, but they want to keep a real down, okay? And that's what they're doing. So,
all I can do is just laugh. All I can do is just laugh at her. Keeping a real N-word down. Okay, she said. It kind of reminds me of when I was in Sharon Bracey's chat. And Sharon Bracey, shouts out to him. At that particular time, him and another white woman and her father came up there, and she just let loose. Like, she didn't care who was in the chat or in the, up on the up on the panel. She just let loose the N-word, right? Didn't give a damn in the world. She just said, I think I counted the many times that she said the N-word. I think she said it like at least 10 or 11 times. 10 or 11 times. 10 or 11 times. And me and a couple other people, we were like, why do you have her up here? But I guess he wanted that. I guess he wanted that attention. I guess he wanted to have conversation. It's not about the conversation. It's about the disrespect. It's about the total disrespect. He knew it was at the time it was disrespectful, but yet he wanted to have the conversation. So he kind of owes me money because I gave him $20 to get that lady, whoever she was, I forgot what her name was, off the panel, but it took him 15 minutes to recognize that me and another person were given the money to say, like, get this racist bitch off the panel. Conclusion, because I'm not going to be with you long. I'm starting to recognize some things. Great doesn't matter. Racism doesn't matter. Nothing matters except for money, power, and respect. For those who are up at the top will always get that, no matter what. But they have to be, in order for them to get into some type of trouble and get themselves jailed, you would literally have to sacrifice something. You would really literally would have to have all your ducks in a row, have all your facts presented, and you have to make damn sure that the judge that you present the evidence to is not from the right or from the left. Completely neutral. You have to make sure that the jurors are completely neutral. It's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to do nowadays. With men fighting with women and women fighting with men. It's very, very hard to do. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you. I would not be surprised if any of these people get their just due. I would not be shocked. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe not next month. Anybody own? I know black people been tired, but there are other minority groups that often step in and say, you're in the wrong. You don't need to say that in front of, you know, our group of people, or you don't have to say that in front of our children. You don't have to be racist. But race runs the country. Race runs economics. That's just the truth of it. In my belief, in my opinion, race runs the world. Race runs the world. If it didn't, you wouldn't be enslaved. Because each and every single slave is worth, back at those times, 10 cents. And for every slave that you had, you make the slave master made a profit off of you. Black people made a profit off of that. African, not black, African. African American African made a profit over you. What do you think they're doing right now at this very moment? While the wages are still low. Let me ask you something. Can you survive every month, $2,000? $2,000 every month. Because according to the wages, it varies from time to time, state to state, city to city. But overall, I would say over $1,000 every other week. Per month, it's $2,000. You think you can survive off of that? Wow, prices are high. Groceries, you can't even get a cart of groceries. Wow, you still have to pay your bills. You still have to pay rent. You still have to pay your car note. You still have to pay insurance. Those things automatically, you're down to possibly maybe your last cent. Because you're forgetting people are renting houses, apartments that are just vaguely ridiculous. Like a one bedroom apartment costs like 1900 a month, depending on where you live. So you can just imagine nowadays what a 2 or a 3 bedroom apartment would be like. You can't live off that every single month. You just can't do it. And be able to pay special extra activities for your children. You can't do that. That's why you got people. Luckily, some people are unfortunate to have a family to help them during their time of need, and that particular person who was helping that family, um, you don't know their financial struggle. You don't know their financial struggle. And all your grandmothers and grandfathers, God bless them if they're still here. But this is, to me, racism at its best. But people ignore the telltale signs. But I guess when certain minorities are privileged, and the right type of person that's sitting in office right now is letting everybody know, hey, everything's going to be okay. Everything's right where it needs to be. we are winning, and you look around you and you look at the price of eggs and you're saying, what the hell is he talking about? You're looking at a loaf of bread. A bag of chips used to be $3. A bag of chips used to be $2. A big bag of chips used to be $2. It's $6. $6 for a big sized bag of chips. For grape juice, it used to be what? Like $1.99? Damn near $4. So if you're gonna tell me that the economy is boosting and it's right where it needs to be, I can't live in that reality. My reality is this economy is completely out of whack, and it's due to prejudiceness. But it is like, why you even say that when white people, when whites, when quite frankly, Trump doesn't care about anybody. So I'm gonna have to subtract that statement, subtract that one word, racism. It's capitalism. So I have subtracted that statement, racism, and I replaced it with capitalism. Because he doesn't care for whites either. Anybody who has done this man wrong, he has completely sought revenge. And these conservatives can say all they want. Oh, he's doing good for the country and all these getting these illegal immigrants out. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's helping or it's hurting? Define capitalism. Capitalism has any and everything to do with economics. Whenever there's an economic boom and you are privileged to be in that class and state of mind, like for example, what Trump is right now, he went from being he was already a millionaire. He was already a millionaire, but had to apply for bankruptcy at least 6 times, then had to steal some money from his prison buddies, take money away from healthcare, whether it be Medicaid or Medicare, take money away from, I gotta look into that. Anything that involves money, anything that involves an economic boom when it comes to his prison buddies, anything that has to do with him getting a chunk out of the I lost all train of thought. No. When it comes to this thing that they were talking about, which I don't subscribe to, and that's Bitcoin. If I don't have a physical in my wallet, is in my pants pocket. But if I don't have a physical coin in my hand, and not just a wallet that I can plug in a computer, I'm not talking about that. I can I can have an imaginary mind and see that I made this much money in Bitcoin. But if I don't have it in my hand, it means nothing. I mean, forget about your gold, forget about your silver, forget about your bronze. We're talking about a coin that we can't see. KJ, what's been going on? What's the dealio, bruh? All money is imaginary. Well, show me something from Bitcoin right now. Show me something from Bitcoin. I want to see a coin in your. I'm not saying that you can't spend this, but then again, they did have some issues with Bitcoin. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say the grid goes out, right? Let's just say this something happens and the grid goes out and the electricity goes out. Everything goes out, right? Everything goes out. You only have enough energy in your laptop for doing anything. But then again, you can't use the bank because the bank is on electricity. So how is it that you're going to use your wallet? How are you going to use your wallet? The dollar of today ain't worth squat anymore. That's why you have 6 countries going traditional: gold, bronze, silver. The more money that you print out, which obviously the United States is good at doing, the more expensive it is. And the more money you're going to have to pay in taxes. So don't give me this shit about tariffs because it's causing more harm than good. Don't give me this shit about Bitcoin because it's causing, in my opinion, more harm than good. The only way to make money in this country, and I'm specifically talking to black people, the only way to make money in this country is to be independent. Be independent and be your own entrepreneur. Which people have struggled, and I'm talking about those specific ones who are struggling and absolutely have done their due diligence, right? And have lasted for more than 10 years. Being an entrepreneur is hard as hell. But I want to ask some of these white folks that are up in here, how often does your daddy give you that gives you that trust fund when he passes on, just like Fred Trump gave him a trust fund, gave Donald Trump a trust fund, but he blew that son bitch. How often is a trust fund given to you? We're not that unfortunate to give our kids, our grandkids, our kids a trust fund. Where else are you going to get your goods from? The United States has completely shown that they are not able to produce anything that's significantly worthy, but yet we can go to Brazil to get coffee. Brazil has the natural goods. In other places, they have the natural goods. So you raising taxes in other countries, they're just going to look at you with a third eye and go, that's why he had to reduce that shit. He ain't made no particular, and let's keep it a buck, he ain't made no deals. Each and every single deal that he has made, it hasn't even come into fruition. It's racism and it's capitalism. And because we cannot get along, and because we particularly can't get along as a people and realize, hey, this is a problem and we can put aside our differences, man or woman, American, African, whoever. We can't put aside our differences just this once. That's the exact same thing Roland Martin said to Richard Spencer, and look where it got him. Talking about he's human. No, you are African. You are indigenous. And the fact that you couldn't say that was a problem for me. Hell, that was a problem to other people. Where's our reparations? Everybody's gotten reparations but us. But I'm not expecting any reparations. You know why? Because it's not going to be given to us because, number one, we don't know who we are yet. I mean, we're this, we're probably this, we're probably that, but nothing that generates anything for us to come together and literally say, we are this. Hell, I even heard that the LGBTQ got reparations, plus their economic rights. So what does that tell us about? What does that tell us about ourselves? Sorry, I had an emergency phone call. But like I said, no matter what goes on, until we can rebuild our communities by trying to find a way to get along with each other without going through all this extra shit, then the only thing I can tell you is we're 400 years of captivity, 500 plus years of captivity is irrelevant. What is relevant, what will be irrelevant, what happens forward in the next 3 years. I just hope to God it doesn't happen to you. I just hope to God that Donald Trump doesn't do anything so catastrophic, so just demonizing. It affects us. I just hope it doesn't happen to you. And quite frankly, I hope it doesn't happen to those particular two, because I just might laugh. No, I'm not gonna laugh at them. I'm just gonna shake my head. I'm like, I mean, weren't those two end grades just glazing Donald Trump's ego? One day was just glazing his ego. It's like, God, that's just so disappointing. And again, don't. We don't want you back. We don't want you back. Your license has been revoked. Stay over there with stay over there with the people that you think this. The grass is greener on that side. Just stay over there. Just stay over there. As I grow more knowledgeable in these economics, I as I grow stronger, I'm just realizing this is all a game. All of this is just a game. It's a game that white folks attend to play and win because their numbers are greater. You heard Nick Fuentes. At one point, there were 85% white folks here in the United States of America, even though it wasn't called the Americas back then, but I ain't gonna hold you. And there were only 11 blacks and like 4% Latinos, but now there's only 30 whites. That's because you were murdering them all. There were actually enough blacks. There were actually no Africans in this country because, again, they took our identities, they took our name, took our faces, they took everything. And yet, white folks are complaining that there are not enough whites in this country. Which goes to show you this is nothing but a capitalist, racist society that we are living in. And the more black folks get it through their thick skulls, it's not about FBAs, it's not about Adolfs, it's not about Israelites, it's not about where you're from, it's how you gonna come with it. Can you put your differences, can you put your little tribes aside? And you forget we're only 13% of the population anyway. So can you put your pride aside just this once to coexist with each other, to just start killing these unlawful forces, and start creating your own laws? How do you create your own laws? You have to create your own establishments. You have to start building infrastructure. Where's your schools? Where's your grocery stores? Where's your banks? You have a person in Tyler Perry who has his own movie facility in Georgia, but puts out the same fucking propaganda. You have black folks, you have black men, not all, you have particular black men who dare not put a black woman in position of power because it's not lawful, it's not godlike. Who the hell told you? Again, you have bosses some of you have bosses that are females that give you orders. I don't mind that. Because I do what I need to do, get my paycheck, and get the fuck out of there. You're the only person that have a problem with it. If a black woman is in the office, it only means possibly good things for the country. But we will never know now, will we? You are willing to do any and everything not to put a woman, put aside race. You are willing to do any and everything not to put a woman in office. Look at Hillary Clinton. She had the most popular votes. But electoral votes, they're the only ones that count. And plus, if they choose presidents 4 years in advance. But you have a problem with a woman being in a position of power, which is totally sad. Totally sad indeed. I hope for the day. I really hope for the day that Jasmine Crockett does decide to possibly one day run, says she's going to run, and guess what? I'm going to run right with her, and I hope she gets it. I totally hope she gets it. Just to see the look on y'all's faces. As a matter of fact, I might host a live this week. I'm going to host a live with a panel. I might do it this Sunday or Saturday. I'm going to make that decision. And if I host, I'm going to host it, and it's going to pertail Jasmine Crockett being the president of the United States of America and why she should. And of course, people are going to disagree. I'm going to ask you why she shouldn't be in that position. And of course, people are going to say, because she's a woman, she's a black woman, she's unworthy, she talks with her hair like this, and all this and that. Fuck all that. I need a different opinion in that. Because if you just come with those same opinions, you just trolling. You're just trolling. We don't need you to troll. We need you to tell the honest to God truth. But I already know what you're going to say before you say it. I already know what you're going to say. You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait for a black president to get into office. But then after that, it was all like downhill from there. Because Obama wasn't doing shit either. So they said, let's try a woman. Let's try a woman. Let's try a female. Hillary Clinton? Nope. Kamala Harris never stood a chance. Kamala Harris never stood a chance. She was not. They were not N-O-T, not going to let her in. They were not going to let her in. And you forget about Michelle Obama running. But I think people in the black community, America, period, I think they're having a change. I think they're having a bit of a change of heart once they see Jasmine Crockett do what she does in the Senate if she runs. and if she runs it smoothly, then being president of the United States ain't going to be, that's going to be a piece of cake. But who am I? I'm just a little YouTuber that don't know shit. But hey, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go live Saturday or Sunday. I haven't made up my mind yet. I haven't quite made up my mind if I wanted to go live Saturday or Sunday. And I'm gonna host a panel. People want to come up, they can come up. The discussion is going to be who in your mind is going to be who is worthy of being the next president, because this president sucks. And you know he sucks. You know deep in your heart that he sucks. But who's going to be worthy to carry that torch? And I want you to tell me in your mind who in your opinion is worthy of the Oval Office. If you think Jasmine Crockett is, then by all means, tell me why. If you think that J.D. Vance is worthy of that, then you tell me why. But either way, I'll host it Saturday. I'll host it Saturday, Sunday night. I'll let you know. I'm slow later, but until then, I got stuff to do. So.